Hello and welcome. How are all my beautiful listeners doing? Welcome to No Brainer MMA. But you already know that. My podcast boys. Gonna be going over UFC Fight Night 221. We're gonna start off the night with the main event, Petr Yan versus Merab Dvalishvili. Yan, I'm gonna start with Yan because he's had a pretty bad luck as of recent. Yan is 1-3 since 2021. Starting with that DQ when he kneed Aljo in the head when he was down for the bantamweight title. He was totally winning the whole entire fight. It was kind of a bummer it ended that way. Aljo put on a little performance. He got an Oscar for that. Then he had a nice bounce back win in a really exciting striking clinic against Corey Sandhagen. Then the Aljo rematch and Yan got off to a slow start. And I think everyone was pretty impressed on how Aljo was able to make changes and take a different approach to this fight. And I think he clearly won. It honestly was so close. I will take that back. I think Aljo did slightly win, but I wouldn't even be surprised if that was a draw. That was a very, very close fight. And in all honesty, I think Yan went into that fight thinking he was just going to steamroll over Aljo like he did in the first fight. Maybe a little bit too cocky of an approach, but I honestly think that he was just kind of like putting it behind, like he was already looking forward to the next guy. Then to top it off, he was on the wrong end of one of the worst robberies of 2022 against Sean O'Malley. 25 out of 26 media members scored it for Petr Yan. And O'Malley had the fucking nerve to say he rewatched the fight and he absolutely won. Talk about an arrogant prick. And talk about an ugly, arrogant prick, too. Like Ronald McDonald was a SoundCloud rapper. I wouldn't say the Petr Yan hype train is derailed, but he's definitely taking some pit stops along the way, to say the least. He has incredible hand speed, very technical Muay Thai, diverse strikes, high volume, calf kick that's reminiscent of Jose Aldo's. He also really started to grapple more in his fights, just kind of adding more layers to his game. In his first 7 UFC fights, he had 10 takedowns. Since then, which is 4 fights, he's had 13. And he's always had great takedown defense. In the first Aljo fight, he stuffed 16 out of 17 takedowns attempted on him. And in the second one, Jan stuffed 20 out of 22 takedowns attempted on him. Just very, like, not even, it's like well rounded to a different level. He's good great wherever the fight goes, to be frank. He's taken on Merab Dvalishvili, who's riding an 8-fight winning streak. He started the UFC with back-to-back losses and bounced back in a really huge way, and that's what tipped off the 8-fight winning streak. Merab is very fast-paced grappler that just keeps going and going. Energizer bunny, moving forward. Great cardio, constantly looking to close the distance, take the fight to the ground. He averages 6.5 takedowns per fight at 40% accuracy. He gets a lot of takedowns. Like, he doesn't hold people too long on the ground, to be honest. I think what sets him apart from the other grapplers is he has an insane ground and pound. Once he gets ground control, he just unleashes a barrage of strikes. And this is a crazy stat. On his 8-fight winning streak, he's notched over 100 strikes in 7 out of the 8. And in 3 out of those 7, he notched over 200 strikes. Just a high-paced, high-volume grappler, great ground and pound, great cardio. Now, I see this fight coming down to that takedown defense of Yan, which is just absolutely stellar. I think Yan will be able to stop the takedowns of Merab for the most part, maybe like 1 or 2, nothing crazy, though. Merab went 0 for 16 in his last time out against Jose Aldo, who has the same takedown defense as Yan. Obviously, he's had a much longer career, but they're sitting at 90% takedown defense. I know Aldo lost that fight, but Yan is hands down the better striker, is a way better striker than Jose Aldo at the moment. And I think Yan will not only be able to stop the takedowns, but really do a lot of damage on the feet, kind of like what Jose Aldo wasn't able to do. So I really like Petr Yan in this one.